These are the hard questions.
How many dead hookers can I fit in my trunk?
I want to know.
Last call movie reviews. Today we are reviewing
The Little Things.
something my ex-girlfriends know a lot about. The Little Things is one of the first movies, one of a movies that released on HBO Max.
Yeah, the previous one was Wonder Woman 86.
Yes.
84.
So shut up, audience. But it's one of those new releases that are doing with the theaters.
They have an agreement with Warner Brothers.
I'm already one ahead.
One.
Shut up.
I told you he was a lightweight.
Yeah, but this was directed by John Lee Hancock, who did Snow White and the Huntsman, The Blind Side, and he wrote those, and then he directed The Founders, Saving Mr. Banks, and The Blind Side, which was a terrible movie.
It was.
I hated Blind Side.
Okay.
But that's not what we're talking about today. Today we're talking about this movie, which also had music by Thomas Newman, who composed 1917.
Which I love the music in this film. It's pretty good, like eerie. Like
I love the 10
suspense.
seconds of Julie's apartment.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The 10 seconds of that band. That was pretty cool. Hope to see her at a show. Back when that opens up again. Cinematography. Actually, she's dead, so
You're not
want to see her.
And that was the 90s, so unless we see her ghost.
Hey, she could be one of those like old punker grandmas.
That would be dope.
Yeah.
Goals.
Yes, but cinematography by John Schwartzman, who did Pearl Harbor, Armageddon, The Amazing Spider-Man, 50 Shades of Grey, Founder, and again, Saving Mr. Banks. So lead actors are Denzel Washington, who we love. Man on Fire, John Q, and
Fences.
Others. Fences, yes. Most recently, Fences.
He did that one pilot movie.
Mm-hmm. He plays detective or deputy in Kern County, Joe Dinkin, who feels a deep need to solve this case. And then we have Rami Malek, who is Mr. Robot. Jim Baxter needs to prove himself, as Cynthia noted here.
Thank you.
And then greasy as ever, Joker baby, Jared Leto.
He was a bit greasy.
Yeah, Albert playing as Albert Spauman. Non-spoiler reviews, like you kind of have this. This apparently was written in the 90s and was trying to follow that 90s crime drama.
Yeah, so he wrote it. He tried to get a director to direct it. They were like, no, not interested. Directed himself 30 years later.
23 years later. Holy shit, we're fucking old. Fucking 90s
30
babies.
years later.
90s babies
He's
here.
like, I'm going to do it myself.
Yes, if you can't get anyone. No, if you want things right,
do them yourself.
do them yourself. But if this is done right, is up to us. Yes. All right, one beer ahead. Okay. So we're gonna skip back to what we were saying.
There's no second page.
What? Same page?
No,
that's the only page.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Don't need you no more. I feel like we should retry from here on out, just to get the same energy. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. We recorded this like 3 times already. The sad kitten face, really? The sad kitten face.
It comes naturally. I don't know. I can't help it.
But yeah, without any spoilers, real quick. So this movie is they're trying to solve this case. It seems like it's a serial killer situation with Ramsey. That's the name, right?
That's his real name.
Yes, Jim Baker.
Ramsey.
With detective Jim Baker trying to solve the case of murder, missing persons.
With 2 different
cases. Yes, 2 different cases, which is linked to 4 other previous cases.
Yeah, you don't find out that
Done.
later.
Yeah, well, done by
Joe.
Deacon is pulled into the case because it reminds him of his previous crimes before as well. And then you have Jared Leto, who plays the prime suspect in this movie.
Did he do it?
Yes. Did he do it? Did he not? We don't know. It's one of those. That's not a spoiler.
No,
Is it a spoiler? Is it a spoiler? So Jared Leto plays one of the prime suspects, and then we have Ramsey. That's his name. Rami plays like a detective, and you get this feeling that he's supposed to be like the top dog in the block, up and coming upstart, And then Denzel's this disgraced former detective that once had the same position.
But now works in Kern County.
Yeah, but now he was run out for mysterious reasons, who you should find out throughout the process. And obviously they draw parallels between these two characters, and you're supposed to get the feeling that they both have two different methods of solving crime.
With the line they kept saying, the past becomes the future, becomes the past becomes the future. Which I really loved.
And they really want you to draw that whole thought, but at the same time, it seems like halfway through the movie, it kind of falls flat because
the parallel feels forced.
Yes.
At some points,
it does.
Yeah.
Because there's. Case. Because I know Priscilla's recording us again.
Are you recording us?
No.
Not anymore.
I was recording me. Doing a snap. Get back to your review.
Okay.
Ignore our audience.
Yes.
Like you were saying.
Yes. So they want to draw parallels. They want to draw parallels, but then that kind of falls flat because then you get this feeling that Jim is just taking cues from Deacon. Mm-hmm. And it just becomes I'm gonna follow his intuition.
Yeah, like a father figure type.
So they do set him up to be this really smart guy who does his own decisions, but then I kind of feel like that goes away halfway through the movie.
Yeah.
And then Jared Leto himself is obviously still sore about not getting an Oscar for his last role as the Joker, baby. but hey, that new Zack Snyder movie's coming out, so we're gonna see him do his best impression of Joaquin Phoenix or Heath Ledger.
I like how you said his best impression of other actors.
Yes, because he's the Joker, baby.
It doesn't stop.
Stop it, please.
Okay, Jared
But
Leto.
That's so cinematography. What did you think?
Loved and hated. Scenes were awesome. Scene transitions confusing. Light to dark. We talked about this.
There were I think 2 separate scenes where 1 minute it's pitch black and then the next it's midday sun.
Yeah.
And that happened a couple of times in the movie. Kind of really off-putting. Kind of
like a chase scene. He's following him. Nighttime. Next scene, daytime. How long were they driving for? Where were they going?
There's no such thing as sunsets. There's no such thing.
No, not in this movie.
No,
it's either or. There's no in between. Black and white in this one.
Yes.
Scenes I enjoyed. I enjoyed the nighttime scenes. Mm-hmm. The scenes in his hotel room. The downtown LA scenes. Neon.
I did like the cinematography in this. It was pretty decent. Yeah. I like the nighttime scenes a lot better because they did play with a lot of shadows.
There were more nighttime scenes than anything, if you didn't notice.
Yeah.
Yeah. But see, I feel like they tried to squeeze in daytime scenes. It can't all be at night. But most crimes are created at night. I don't know.
Well, how can you have a movie about 2 brooding detectives if you don't have nighttime scenes,
Yeah. And like I said, most of it was at night.
Yes.
But they were let's squeeze some daytime ones in there just for kicks.
Yeah, but they didn't bother with the transitions there, so it's kind of really weird there. But I did like the setup. A lot of those scenes were pretty cool.
Yeah. Dialogue
was really weird.
It was hit and miss.
Yeah.
Some of it was ha ha ha, but then others
Yeah. This movie is called The Little Things, but as Cynthia was saying,
they were missing details.
They were
everywhere.
lacking details.
No details.
Yeah. They were the beginning scene. Okay, so getting into spoilers now. So real quick before getting into spoilers, do you recommend this movie? Should people watch it? Give it a shot.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
I would.
And only because it's on HBO Max. If you had to go to a theater and watch it...
Oh, no. I wouldn't pay money.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I already pay for HBO.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't go to a movie to be here's my $15 or whatever movie theater is today.
You should definitely take a couple drinks before you watch this. Because then, you'll miss over those little things that kind of irk you about this movie. Yeah. And they do build up as the movie progresses.
Yeah, it gets better the second half.
There's a lot of tension, but there's a lot of dumb shit that happens. Yeah, and it's just wait, why did he do... Wait, what? And foreshadowing for
Who's
that.
that? Yeah. Where did they come from?
Yes, but we can't talk about that without getting into spoilers, so now talking about spoilers. Foreshadowing
Opening
in the
scene?
first scene. Yes, the first dumb girl. We call her dumb girl.
Dumb girl.
She's played by Tina. No, she's named Tina Schwartzman.
Yeah, her real name. Priscilla.
Yes.
I totally forgot, but she's from that one movie where she has cancer.
A Sister's Keeper.
A Sister's Keeper. My Sister's Keeper.
I hated that movie too.
That
Made
was
me
such a
cry
good
like a
movie.
baby.
It's terrible. Well, it's just like, hey, they literally just fucked to make spare parts for the bigger
Oh, that's
sister.
fucked up.
No, that is
But that's
But
what makes
no.
the movie good.
No, but even in the trailer, you get that. But anyways, we're talking about the little things.
Back on topic.
Yes.
Dumb girl driving a highway, middle of the
Making my
night,
way downtown,
literally
walking
singing,
fast,
dancing. Like
faces past-
I'm guilty of it. A car comes behind her, approaches her fast, like near gonna hit her. Lights booming. She's driving, comes to the side of her, scares her. You're gonna get scared. I'd get scared.
I would get
But
scared.
then I
too.
would take off. Be like, peace.
Peace,
You're not
'cause
gonna
she
catch
drives
me.
a
You're
rally
not
car.
gonna catch me.
No.
What would you do?
What would I do? I would blast the music and yeah, same thing. I don't know if my Mustang could, outdrive a 90s
His
car.
engine would blow.
My engine would not blow. Fuck you.
It's automatic.
Yeah. But yeah, so there's a lot of dumb decisions in this movie. The
Yes.
first one being this girl who, instead of just like, staying in her car where it's safe, like that Cars, song where it's like, we're in my car. I feel safest of all. No, she gets out, pulls over at the first like lights out like gas station
No
or
cars.
restaurant, nothing out front,
Middle
nothing to
of,
make her
like desert.
Yeah, I know you're in a panic and you're scared, but like first thing I would do is not panic and go into this restaurant.
Lock your doors while you're driving.
Yes,
Extra
and she
safe.
just runs out and expects like no cars out front to help her, and
Anybody in there?
no, she just fucking cowers, and then she eventually runs in front of a semi, which I feel like she should have gotten hit. But,
I'm telling you.
then we kind of get the impression, like next scene.
Maybe she's gonna be a bigger character.
Well, yeah, they did kind of imply that she died in the next scene because then you see like, oh, there's blood here, but then you find out.
That next scene was like that.
We get the introduction
weird.
to Denzel's character, and he's just investigating how someone took out the G from the Black Angus.
Yeah, take out the G. You guys can use
Stop
your own,
coughing, audience.
Use your own creative imagination.
Yes.
Take out the G. And then there was blood on the floor. How was there blood on the floor? You've been to a Black Angus. Like the sign's way up there. They threw rocks. I don't know what they did.
Meat is murder. Could have been some
How
meat.
did they bleed?
Go vegan.
Shut the fuck up. But okay, so yeah, there was obviously that was cool transition.
Transitions in this movie, like.
But yeah, Denzel's character. We get into introduction to Denzel's character, which first of all, I'm not used to seeing Denzel this old. Like holy shit! Like I know he's 60. He's gonna obviously show his age, but
doesn't take away from his character,
it
his
doesn't.
acting.
We like got used to him. Like it's just the sore spots. Like that's my dad growing old, which my dad is growing old. So it gets you in the feels.
I don't know. It makes me want to watch Man on Fire. And
should watch
cry.
that next.
Have a good cry.
Yes.
Go to sleep.
But then, yeah, we get into the introduction. He obviously has a chip on his shoulder. He goes back to the way he crossed paths with Jim's character is he, goes back to collect some evidence.
Yeah, from the crime lab in LA.
Yeah, he gets him. They have like some spat because of he's driving an unmarked police vehicle. He has like it looked like a Ford Bronco.
It was we thought it was, but then it's a GMC.
Yeah,
so
it's a
we
GMC.
threw us off.
There's really, like no police decal or anything. He's a sheriff's.
Yeah, it was his own personal car.
Yeah, and he expects some.
Let them know that's his car. Don't touch it. He parks them behind, literally police vehicles.
Yeah, so him and Rami get into like some spat right off the bat, and then you feel like he's trying to make it up to him to invite him. Like, hey, you want to go see a dead body with me? You can poke it with a stick, for old time's sake. That's what it feels. Well, that's what it feels like. He's like, he almost gets his car towed. And then he finds out, oh, actually, Denzel is actually this big hotshot from back in the day. But
oh, come with me, friend.
Yeah, like the rest of the, let's go.
Well, I feel like it's like those shoes to fill type.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm taking care of what you left behind type thing.
Yeah.
And he's dumb.
My shift has started now. No, my time at the watch. No, wait.
Stop.
My watch has begun.
I just want you to stop.
As the night draws near, the watch begins, and something. Jon Snow knows nothing.
Sorry, Game of Thrones.
Aww.
Okay.
So yeah,
Yes.
they're all tensions
Yeah.
in the spat. They try to be friends, but like it feels weird.
Yeah,
They don't feel like friends.
Yeah, we get that setup that Denzel has that chip on his shoulder. Romney, Rami.
Rami.
Rami is
His name is Jim.
His name is Robert Paulson.
His name is Robert Paulson.
And we get those introductions, and you see some display of Jim being this really smart ass because he's like, talking about lividity. He's describing how the crime scene most likely happened, and nobody's like, contradicting him. We don't get like any CSI people in there because he apparently is a know-it-all. And you see the contrast to Denzel's character Deacon, who just off intuition kind of like, what if someone was watching? And he finds this observatory off the side and finds a chair. So it's implied that whoever killed this victim, Julie, the first victim that we see in this movie, maybe he was watching her. So from then on, it feels like, at least from my perspective, that Jim kind of just, instead of having that contrast and one character going off logic and the other one going off emotion, they both end up leaning on emotion because especially Jim's character seems like he starts to lean on Denzel's for what to do next. Mm-hmm. And even talking about that scene with Julie, the first victim, I'm blanking out.
So fast forward, he finds out that electrical refrigerator repairman.
So props to the best landlady ever.
That's the landlady I want.
Yeah. So they apparently find out most of the food's rotten.
Yeah.
And then
except milk.
Except milk and beer. And so
she takes both.
She takes them both because she's fucking dead. She's not gonna need it.
I need the beer.
Yeah.
Fuck dead lady.
Mm-hmm.
He's not paying her rent anymore.
Yeah. Fucking deadbeat.
So he's like, I'm gonna need that back, evidence and all that. And then finds out that she had called electric repairman to come to the apartment to fix her refrigerator, and he showed up. Maybe, possibly, you don't know. But he does. Denzel's character does find that name crossed off, and they wonder like, oh, did someone actually show up? You don't actually get any answers in this movie too. It's like there's a lot of implications, but not a lot of follow through. Use your own imagination type.
Like you do see, like I said, like those immigrants on the next door, like they're just like so they set dressing.
Like that scene was so set up and so staged that I hated it.
They were just staring. They had literally people staring at beer, and it just felt
some guy
weird.
Literally stiff, like
no candlelight, no anything. It's just freaking weird.
Sitting in the dark, all awkward.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, we go from that to we see this relationship develop between Deacon and Jim. Mm-hmm. And you get more flashbacks about the trauma that Deacon has faced.
Yeah.
And you get the backstory that, he had a heart attack, he had a divorce, all that stuff.
And he got suspended from his position. Yeah.
And then you even meet, the coroner there, apparently, did something for him in the past, and they really hush-hush about it.
Yeah. They're I'm not going to help you again. Like, ooh, what do you help him on?
Yeah. And then is that when we run into Jared Leto's greasy ass in this movie?
Yeah, so that's when after Denzel is searching through the employees from that said electric store or repair store, and he stops by his house. Surprise, surprise. Mm-hmm. Sees a for sale sign for a car, checks out his car, which is beautiful, by the way. Sees high mileage, so this is a guy who drives a lot, and he sees him, he's like, how's the trunk space? What did he say? Standard. How many dead hookers can you fit in there?
Yeah. What if I cut them up and arrange them? What if I'm a really class 10 Tetris player? Yeah.
Maybe don't put this in there.
These are the hard questions.
How many dead hookers can I fit in my trunk?
I want to know.
That's how I figure out what car I want to pick.
Yeah.
So he goes and asks about the car, and then he kind of starts following him.
Yeah, as one does.
As one does. That's what I do.
Yeah, that's the freeway scene, right?
It's right up.
Yeah, so that's the first one where you're seeing them, in the night because Denzel's following him, follows him to a strip club. He's in there for a few hours.
Who knows? Time is relative in this movie.
But then in the next scene, you see them driving.
Daylight, middle of the day.
Daylight, and there's for some reason no other cars on the freeway.
None.
And I did mention this earlier. I'm like, it seems like these characters are built up to be smart and shit, but Denzel literally reverses on the freeway. He's trying to get a good angle on Jared Leto, but then every time, like, they keep swapping each side of the freeway. And I'm like, how the fuck are there no other cars? And then I'm like, that's right. The cars in this movie, they're driving maybe like 10 miles an hour the whole time.
Maybe that.
Which is funny because, like, it drew me out the first time we were watching it. But then Denzel also draws his attention to it. Like, hey, have you ever seen, like, a meat wagon with 2 cops, like, going 20 miles an hour? Like, dude, you were all of you were driving
Slow.
like maybe 5 miles an hour.
I'm telling you,
so
he's
that's
coming
why,
to a complete
yes.
stop. The cars were still not passing
Yeah.
him. So
Yeah.
what were they doing?
Yes. So if you watch this movie and you see no cars on the freeway, that's probably why.
They weren't allowed.
It follows. You know,
They weren't allowed to go faster.
I don't know if whoever lents out these cars, you know, just didn't allow them to go over 10.
Preservation.
Yes. Preservation of those cars. But we get that, and then, you know,
Like you said, masturbation.
shut up. Yeah, but then Jared Leto, being Mr. Big Dick that he is in this movie, pulls up next to Denzel and is like, how's the trunk space? And it lands him in the interrogation room.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then he's like, I don't know, he's trying to be a little like, I'm smarter than you type. You know, the typical...
Well, they set him up to... They make him look creepy. I mean, it's not hard with Jared Leto, you know, because he's the Joker, baby.
Doesn't stop.
I'm not going to stop it.
Okay, so this is when we see Tina again.
Yeah, see Tina. And we get the music like she's going to be this big deal, and she is not. She's
not.
just...
No help.
Yeah.
No.
She
Not
goes to the
needed.
restroom, sees, you know, Jared Leto in handcuffs, goes into the interrogation room, and she kind of mentions, like, oh, can I get a better look at this guy? Because, you know, we don't know if that was him or not. She wants to see. So that obviously taints the ID.
When did you take off your flannel?
I took it off earlier.
He's been without it.
Yeah.
Sorry. Cut this out. So yeah, Tina.
No.
They show her a bunch of photos. She already saw his face in handcuffs. Can't use it.
Yeah.
Like she's no use.
Yeah.
No use.
Then she disappears again. She doesn't become involved. They try to
They made it seem like he saw her, so he was gonna go kill her. So she
or
couldn't-
even just like she was gonna like help them somehow.
Yeah, no use.
Nothing.
She wasn't needed.
No.
They
Fuck
should
off.
have. Somebody should have hit her.
Go back to looking after your older sister.
What?
Younger. She was the
She was the older
cancer
sister?
case. She was the cancer patient.
She was the cancer
Not a
patient.
movie.
Oh.
Wrong movie.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's throwback. You know?
Anyway.
So they're interrogating him,
Mm-hmm.
showing him pictures of.
Jared Leto's getting half chubbed this whole time.
Yeah, well, it was apparently a full one.
Yeah.
He's like, "You're
Yeah.
as hard as
As-
Chinese arithmetic."
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Why do I remember that line? Who knows?
It was like, what?
Just stood out to me.
Yeah.
So he's.
Yeah.
You know-
he's a crime buff.
So do we know if he did it still? We don't
true
know.
crime.
But he definitely is like fascinated by
death,
murder, blood.
Yeah.
I don't know. It could be in multiple.
All the above.
But apparently it excites him. Can't relate. Not a crazy person.
Yeah. We don't send dead rats to our fellow cast members in this movie.
No. Or maybe he did.
Maybe he did. He kept those feet photos for sure though. He strikes me as a feet guy. Allegedly.
We'll never know.
So yeah, interrogate him.
They interrogate him. They start to act outside the law, trying to get into his apartment to find more
so
clues.
let's talk about that.
Yes.
Outside the law. They're the law. The whole time.
Yeah.
They act like they're not.
Yeah. I mean, we see those in the movies a lot where they're acting outside to try to catch the guy. But the way that this movie treats it, and this was our first inclination.
Like they're civilians.
Yeah, they're treating it like they're vigilantes, just doing their own thing, trying not to get caught by police. But it's like one of those things where, like, yeah, if you got caught by your own people, it's gonna, you're gonna get a slap on the wrist and chewed out by the sergeant, as we've seen as these cliches. But they act as though they'll get put in jail, maybe shot, and you see that a lot from here on out in the movie because like that first
They're
scene,
afraid of police brutality.
yeah. Well, I don't even know about that, but it's kind of funny because we'll talk about that later. But it's funny because the way that they try to get into his apartment is by, again, this is a series of stupid decisions and little things, details matter.
Yeah, so
They-
what is again the little things?
So yeah, so what they do is they call Jared Leto and be like, "Hey, dude, can you meet me for some fucking tacos over here, like 2 blocks away?" And like Jared Leto's just like, "Yeah, sure." Was that place with the dip or whatever? And he just walks away like that. When he says something,
Potato wedges.
he does something like that, and he walks over there, and then Rami or Jim doesn't even go over. Doesn't even go over to meet him, and
Meet me
keep him.
here 1 block away from your house.
Yeah.
If I'm not there, don't walk back.
He doesn't even meet him there to keep him there longer. He expects him to somehow be there long enough.
Waiting for him?
Yeah.
I wouldn't wait for anybody.
Yeah. And so Denzel sneaks in, he's looking through all the stuff. And it's funny because we see like little clues here and there, like there's a little false teeth on the side.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, you find bite marks on these victims. Jared Leto has false teeth. There's rolls of film, drying on the film tub, because I do that too. We're both film shooters. We both know how that's at. And he runs around this place, and Jared Leto calls in officers down. That obviously gets an immediate response, and then Denzel and his 60-year-old ass didn't climb the roof.
He finds out because he has a police scanner.
Yeah.
And so he's listening. He's like, oh damn, he's going through paper clippings
Newspaper clippings
of
murders in
crimes.
the local area. We don't see any actual like souvenirs or anything, but we get that
vibe. That's like we're still like, did he do it? Did he not do it?
But then, he calls officers down, people show up, and they act like vigilantes. He's climbing the roof trying to evade a capture. Like, again, he could have been slapped on the wrist, maybe, or,
Yeah, he's acting like a criminal.
depromoted. Yeah,
he broke
He broke in, you need a warrant for that.
But, they would know, obviously investigating this guy. Did he do it the right way? No. But then that goes back to, saying that's wrong.
It was different in the 90s, man.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, maybe not so much.
Maybe not. But anyways, immediately after that,
he climbs the roof.
yeah, no, but after that.
Oh, they stake him out.
They stake him
They
out.
just stay there. He's like, he knows we're here.
Yeah.
He's like, good. I want him to know.
Yeah.
And then it follows by Denzel going to the liquor store, like a corner mart, getting some coffee, and Jim's in the car.
Did that happens immediately after?
Yeah.
Well, it's like a bit steak. Well, also, it's so fucking.
The transitions. Okay.
Yeah. No, go for it.
Yeah, so nighttime, cops get called, jump over the roof. He gets him in the car and they take off. And then they park back in front of the apartment, but it's daytime. Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like I'll give them a pass now because I feel like it's the next day sort of thing.
Okay, hopefully.
Yeah.
Maybe that time.
But yeah, they immediately start being like, okay, he knows we're watching him. They know we're watching us. And again, they're acting like they're outside of the law. They can't get someone else to do it because at this point, their sergeants are all like, your guys are just chasing, this guy because you want him to be.
Yeah, you're just trying to find someone to.
Because also it turns out that Jared Leto confessed to a crime 8 years earlier.
Yeah, so.
That he wasn't even, anywhere near.
Yeah.
So, that he's like a true part of the true crime community in the early 90s. He knows all these details. And, he obviously loves the attention. Yeah. So that already discredits him as a possible suspect. But they do stake him out and, try
to catch him again.
And then eventually, when Deacon is out getting coffee, Jared Leto's greasy ass goes over and to ask, hey, you want to go see a dead body again? And, they take him out for a ride, which is a stupid decision.
Rhonda.
Yeah.
The missing girl.
Yes.
Not just a dead body.
Rhonda. Who apparently Jim's really attached to for no reason. We get sometimes you get really drawn because Denzel makes a comment about how sometimes you burp and get attached to certain cases for one reason or another.
Yeah.
And obviously that's this to Jim, but we don't know why. We don't ever.
I kind of think that her parents came into the station and was like, I think my daughter is a stat. That's what they said. Mm-hmm. And he kind of blew them off. Mm-hmm. He was like, not my problem, send them to missing persons. But then come find later, he sees her poster, and then I feel like he feels guilty about it, and he, some type of, intuition, gut feeling, maybe. He's like, she's another one. We don't know if she is, because we never find her. Maybe she ran away.
Yeah.
Don't think
and
so.
Speaking of which, when you do see her abducted in this movie, it's a completely different car
from the first scene,
from the one that we saw in the first scene. So you don't have zero clue who this actually is.
And it's not the same car that.
It's not the same car that Jared Leto's driving because he's driving a green car and then there's a blue car and there's a tan car.
There's a lot of cars.
There's a lot of cars.
None of them go faster than 15.
The 90s were different.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I would hate to drive in the 90s. So he gets attached to this girl, emotionally attached, like completely loses all logical reasoning.
Yeah. So that's obvious because, like I said, he gets into this car with Jared Leto, which, you know, you never want them to take you to a second location. He should know that as this really smart-ass cop. But then for some reason, you know, Deacon rounds the corner at the same time, throws his coffee aside.
Luckily.
Yeah. And then follows them, and then somehow we're led to believe that, you know. And that's another instance where that night to day happens.
Yeah.
Because then we see them going out there. Well, actually, no. He follows them during the day. Like, they're in the car.
It was at night. It was at night.
No. But the scene was in the car. It was during the day, and then it goes into the night.
There's a lot
and
of
then it's the day again. Yeah, it's hard to keep track. But Denzel does follow them. They do end up to this like huge empty lot, and he tells them like, "Okay, she's buried here. You have to dig." He has a fucking shovel in his trunk.
He's like right here.
Yeah, and obviously he's dicking him around, and you know he's telling them just to dig random holes. Like, no, maybe it's over here. Maybe it's over here.
He's like, I made a poop. What do you
Yeah,
say?
I made a poo poo. I pooped and nailed it to a cast member.
Sorry, Denzel.
Yeah. But then he, eventually Jim smacks the shit out of him like we all have wanted to do in some point of our lives. and you know, kills him. He fucking like one to the temple and he's fucking out.
Yeah,
and then at
dead.
the same time you see some flashbacks to Denzel's past, and you find out that he actually killed one of the victims in that earlier case, and that's probably why he went through that divorce and all that stuff.
Yeah, I had a lot
and
of
that then you realize why that captain.
That's the saying.
Yeah.
The past becomes the future becomes the past.
Yeah, so they parallel comes full circle in that respect, and then also you find out why like the captain earlier didn't like him and what they all did.
He had a lot of haters.
Yeah. Because you know, leave my golden boy alone. But he does.
But in honesty, like the captain was no better. 'Cause he was there. He could have said something.
Yeah, I mean, it seems really weird because as soon as they saw her, they just shot.
Yeah.
It's like I know
and see, they hide it. He has the coroner lady. I forgot her name.
Well, she decides. I think he wanted to be.
But she does it.
She said like, you know, I'm for you. I'm gonna do this because I know it's a mistake, sort of thing. Just to shield it from public light. Says that it's a stab wound when we all saw Denzel shoot.
Should he have shot her? Definitely not.
Yeah, and touching on that, that was Mary Roberts, who we heard mentioned earlier during the interrogation scene with Jared Leto. So it makes you wonder why the fuck did this like
was
peeping
that Mary
Tom?
Roberts?
Yeah, that was Mary Roberts.
Yeah. See, so I don't understand because if he's the one.
And that's what I was speaking of that. Like I said, little details. It's the little details in this movie.
Little things.
The little things. Rami Malek asked him like, "Hey, tell me about Mary Roberts," and he tells him about this crime, but he neglects to answer the question about Mary Roberts. Like, obviously, you're supposed to draw implications because we're not idiots here, but
there wasn't.
There was
no
answer there, no context there. Like this movie's relying on a lot of cliches for you to fill in those plot holes. Like if you watch this movie when you're like, you know, on your cell phone, you'll probably get what's going on. You'll probably get something more out of it because we were watching it and, you know, we had more questions because, like I said, like
more questions than answers, really.
Yeah, because why did this fucking seasoned cop? Because if he came in here after Denzel, why is he, you know, letting this dude take him to a second location, digging up these random holes, and then smacking the shit out of Jared Leto? But yeah, we eventually do see those parallels with Denzel and Jim.
Yeah, so after he kills him, Denzel's like, I'll be back in like 4 hours. Takes his car, gives it to some random people in the alleyway.
Yes.
Literally bags up all of his belongings and comes back for him daytime.
Yeah, well, he's setting it up to make it look like he ran away.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
For sure. And he comes back and he's like, before he leaves, he's like, bury him and be done with it. Comes back, there's like 20 holes.
20 holes, because obviously, you know, part of Jim's character is like, he still thinks like maybe he was telling the truth. He has to find the body to vindicate his action. Because if, you know, even though they didn't go through the proper method, if, you know, they find a body, then that could justify Jim in his own mind for having killed Jared Leto sort of thing.
Yeah.
And
Didn't find it.
didn't find it. Denzel kind of like, brings it upon himself to give Jim closure because he realizes if he doesn't, he's going to end up the same way as he did. So he,
Sends him a red beret.
Red beret,
That said
that if you find, he asked
Rhonda
for,
was wearing when she was running.
yeah, he asked like, hey, if you find a red beret in his apartment, like that would be like, proof positive that this was the guy. And so he goes obviously to, like you find out in the last scene that he went to a store and bought a beret and put it in there, mailed it to him just to give him that closure. So hopefully he does like end up in a better place than Denzel.
Yeah.
But it's not really so. But it's weird because like afterthoughts, like even though like that's supposed to be our closure, I got the feeling that
I was upset.
Yeah. I was too, like, cause Denzel seems like he's trying to solve the murder because he killed Mary Roberts, so he feels obligated now to solve this case.
Yeah.
So I don't feel like he would be content.
With just him dying.
Just him dying
because he doesn't know. Because we don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know. Did he do it? Did he not do it?
And the movie ends there. Like he's trying to burn up a fucking ammo box.
Yeah. So
like
he was trying to. I guess like there's a scene where I forgot Flo. I want to say her name was. She keeps the bullet where he shot the victim, and she said that it was the cause of death was a stab wound covered for him. She kept the bullet as a keychain. So at the end, he wants to keep like an ammo box of where he kept all his tokens or newspaper clippings. Who
Jared
knows
Leto,
if
right? That's Jared Leto.
Yeah.
Maybe just newspaper clippings. It doesn't show anything else. And he thinks about it for a second. He's in his car, and he's like, nah. Like he wanted to keep it as a reminder for what he did.
Burn up metal box.
Yeah.
Jet fuel can't melt steel beams.
We don't talk about that.
Yeah, we don't talk about that.
But yeah, so conclusions. Like I said, I feel really put off having found out about Mary Roberts, why that first interrogation suspect killed himself, because especially if he didn't like have anything to do with it. Yeah, that didn't make any sense.
That didn't make any sense. And then cinematically,
it was really good.
Yeah. Well, visually, I liked it. I liked the visuals. I liked the acting. The acting was
Except Rami,
Jared Leto and them not blinking.
I'm telling you, he reminded me of like the villain from Monsters Inc. Like, that was him.
But okay.
I'm literally gonna post a picture of that and a picture of him, and I'm gonna send it to you guys because
Randall.
Yeah. I mean, like I said,
Randall.
this is a good movie to watch if like you're with friends and you're kind of buzzed, and you miss new
and you
content.
don't spend money on it at a movie theater.
Because if I paid $20 for this, I would be upset.
Yeah, no.
But
No.
If you have an HBO Max, I'd definitely check it out. Take a few beers. It's a good watch.
It's gonna take a few beers.
Take a few beers. It is gonna take a few beers.
Yeah.
But it is nice to watch. You kind of just have to turn your brain off. Denzel's. I will watch it just for Denzel.
Oh, that's the reason why I watched it in the first place. To be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Just more questions and answers, and I had to create my own story. So like I was my own director.
Mm-hmm. Yes. I could definitely see how Hollywood turned this down in the late 90s, though.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, there's a lot of stuff missing in this. What the fuck?
Yeah, no.
I feel like this wouldn't have gotten made otherwise if we weren't in a situation like we are globally right now, where like a content, people are starved for new stuff, so they just like, you know what, this is trash, but let's greenlight it.
It's not even new. Like this has been done and done and done.
Yeah, it's definitely not original.
No. Music was great.
It had a lot of potential, but it needed. It needed detail. It needed the
little things.
The little things. You need more little things. There's definitely like, I feel like they were shooting for that ambiguity ending. Like, was he, wasn't he?
Yeah, and see, I usually don't mind those. Like, I love creating my own ending. Like, I love that. Mm-hmm. But I had to create my own beginning, middle, end. Yeah. And in between.
There was too many, like, it didn't really leave you with questions in the good sense that, like, oh,
did this happen? Yeah. And I'm like, no, how did this happen? What was this? Yeah. Who was that?
It was more questions like what the fuck were these characters thinking? Like, any of them. Like, it's so stupid.
Yeah.
The whole time you were asking questions.
The only two people we know were murderers was Denzel's character when he killed the
And the two cops were the only ones we know.
The only two cops. And they were protected by... And that was it. I don't have a beer, but
You know, that little thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I would say go watch it if you're bored
if you're bored,
and you love Denzel.
and just watch it because of Denzel.
Just watch it because Denzel.
I would watch this because Denzel.
Yeah, and everything past that, I guess, bring your brain around to create your own movie because
Yeah.
you don't know anything.
I'm gonna forget about this in like 2 weeks, maybe.
Yeah, we had the second time we watched it, we were like, "Is it almost over?"
I feel like we're only gonna remember it because we did a review on it. But this is our first one.
Yeah, so thank you for tolerating us.
Yes.
And this beer was pretty good for.
What do we rate the beer?
Ooh, okay.
It's smooth.
For the type of beer it is, I definitely give it a 5. Not my
5 out of 10 or 5 out of 5?
5 out of 5.
Nice. What do you give this movie?
Ooh,
Out of 5.
You give it a sad cat face out of 5.
a 2.
Ooh, why? What brought you to that decision? Here, bring it up this mic closer. what?
Is this thing working? Oh shit. Story, dialogue, transitions. Rami Malek.
Yeah. Well, this movie was 2 hours long, and I felt like they wasted a lot of potential. I don't know if like another 30 minutes or an hour would have helped, but it
I
definitely.
would've shot myself.
Don't no.
Another hour?
This channel's barely starting, and you're already like leaving me to co-host a lot. Okay.
No.
Yeah. But
Yeah, no. It needed to be shorter.
you definitely felt the '90s vibes on it, though.
Oh,
Like,
I
definitely
love the cars.
I lacked
and the lighting.
Yes, but it needed more denim jackets.
Yeah.
More denim jackets. That's what it is. That's
More?
what could save this movie.
More 90s film.
More purple, turquoise, and yellow.
Where's those like old '90s cups? You know what cups
Because I
I'm
felt
saying?
like we were in
Yeah.
the like modern day.
Yeah, a
And-
little bit.
And then you think,
Yeah.
oh shoot, we're in the 90s.
Yeah, no, like there wasn't enough 90s things, but that could be our like nostalgia kicking in. We're like, we want to see.
But yeah,
Doesn't stop.
I'm sorry, Julie, that you died in this movie,
This one's for you.
especially because you were like a No Doubts fan.
Oh, yeah, you
Definitely.
Julie would be the homegirl.
Yes. And let's give it up to Gwen Stefani too while we're at it, because she's from Orange County, represent, you know.
Anaheim?
Yeah. All right. But yeah, that's our first that's our first one. Let us know what you think. Look, I'm gonna cut you.
Oh, no,
Go,
you're
go, go for it.
I hope you enjoyed it. Sorry, we're us.
My stomach growled there.
Yeah, keep watching, like, subscribe. Recommend beers.
I feel like
Recommend beers for
I feel like I talked way too much in this one, but I was trying to save Cynthia
I
from
think that's just his normal.
Right?
That's a lot.
in the earlier record, because we recorded this like 3 times now.
We don't tell them.
No, we're telling them we recorded this 3 times because we kept going all
The
over
third
the
time
place.
is like the best one.
This is the best one, but I'm definitely gonna cut in clips from the other ones.
Yeah, no, do it. You're gonna have your flannel on.
Shush. We're drunk.
We're confused.
are.
But yeah, like, subscribe.
Wait, Priscilla, is it still recording?
Yes.
Recommend beers because, I mean, we're supposed to be intoxicated. Last
Yeah.
call. And maybe recommend movies because I'm always down for new movies. I love art films, and I love a good slasher
A good thriller.
You like a good dish? Yeah.
thriller.
Yeah. No, yeah. What?
We were like,
Yeah. Well, I knew she was tossing it over to me to give my like preferred things. So, yeah, no. I like a good movie. That end.
It wasn't this one.
This one was passable. It's fun to watch. It's fun to critique.
You're like 2 beers in.
Shush.
But yeah, anything to say before?
you're hurting the people's ears.
No.
I know it's so close.
So, like, comment, and subscribe. Recommend beers. Recommend movies. We're thinking about doing some nostalgia stuff for us 90s kids. Because we know that's in vogue right now. We were thinking Brave Little Toaster. The Craft.
Ooh, The Craft.
Craft.
Oh, the crap! Fuck yeah! I'll be down for that one.
All right.
Yeah.
But also, like, give us money, too, because we need to send our thing for the... Yeah.
I don't ask for much, but give us money.
Yeah. I don't ask for much to give us money, dude. But that's it. Until next time.
Like, subscribe.
This is the last call.
This is last call. First video. Enjoy.
Security, kick him out. He's done.
That's why it's last call.
You're out, buddy.
All right, that was fun.
That was fun.
Even though we had to do it 3 times, that was still a lot of fun.